Hello, everyone. Welcome to Arbitrage Trade. I am Royce Wells, and it is Sunday, January 28th, 2024. The title of today's seminar is Red Screen at Morning. Investors take warning. And basically, this seminar is about not only the Mariners that basically brought it up at red sky at morning, but basically anytime we get dollar signs on the S&P 500, usually that means we should be taking profit. So it ended the week last week with a dollar sign. So it's basically letting us know that there's a little bit of topping and a little bit of probability that basically there has to be some pullback in the upcoming future. It did end the week at 62 cents to red. The question is, will it be able to fall? And if it is able to fall, how far can it fall without us basically running out of space and probability, once again, redirecting us back into the upward position? So with that in mind, let's go take a look at our left-hand pane and see what we see. We're currently looking at the novice band on our a weekly time frame, and this is the trend that we've been following since 2021 all the way in 2022, and then 2023 when it reversed. So we're right at a double top on this market, and we have reached all-time highs, but this is the first time that we've reached all-time highs and gotten dollar signs at the exact same time. So from here, we want to see where we're going. So I'm going to actually bring this indicator, our arbitrage band indicator, and bring it actually down to the arbitrage band. The system is composed of 12 bands, and we try to make sure that on our daily or weekly time frame, we're following our arbitrage band just to make sure that we can be agile with the trend. We're currently seeing our top sideways and bottom saying that we are still in a buy pattern, but we are seeing that probability is saying it wants to do other things. Lifting this guy up, I'm going to pull a few of these other indicators just to get the top of that as well, so we can see a little bit what's going on here in our loop indicator. And our loop indicator basically is showing us from where we are currently set. It is still very much so diverged. So basically, it has nothing saying that we should be going back just yet. And I think this is the tightest one. Yep, it is the tightest band in the system. So from where we are, nothing is saying we can or cannot. But please be aware that from where we are, there's about $12.09. If it basically corrects $12.09 over this next week, it will be enough to actually pull us down and pull us into a bearish loop on our arbitrage loop indicator. So we'll be watching that very earnestly. So it doesn't have to be a straight down, but basically 582 average over the next 2 weeks could also give us that same amount of pain. So we're watching this to see if it will accelerate or decelerate, but currently it has accelerated, and it's running out of steam and probability at this fever pitch. So let's go take a look at QQQ. We also have a doji candle up here. If you guys basically pay attention to candlestick patterns, typically when you get a doji, it's basically a small open and close followed by a large tail on both the upper and the lower bound of the candle, or lower end of the candle. That means there's a lot of indecision in the market. And typically when you see dojis, there is a larger candle either in either direction, depending where the doji happens. If it basically happens right after, like dollar signs, for example, you get a large candle to the upside. If it happens near a trend top, then you get a large candle to the downside. So from where we're looking at, this looks like a doji up here, and we're trying to see where exactly it will go. We do not have dollar signs on the cube, but it is awfully close to the edge of our band. How this system works is this black line acts as a relative strength index. So it means it tells us the strength of the trend. Anytime the black line gets too close to the edge, the candles are actually forced to come back and touch it. With that being the premise for where we are now, we're getting a little bit far away, but we're not all the way there. Let me turn on my dash indicator and move it to the right side of the screen. So that way we have, show on the right. And we can now see the numbers and stuff. So basically, for a buy to remain in progress, some lights have turned on the weekly time frame. So that means for us to stay in a buy trend, typically these lines have to get turned off. So that means buy in danger in our arbitrage band means it wants to see a support held at 371. So currently we're about $53 or $54 from that point. So there could be a little bit of a correction, a little bit of like 10 to 12%. So let's see what happens to the Qs over the next few weeks, shall we? And the second one is a 223. That will be a major catastrophic, but that's on our largest time frame. And if that's turned on, we might want to go take a look at what's going on our apocalypse band on our weekly time frame, because that's a very huge marker for things are not looking good for this buy trend that may be overextending itself. We're going to go to the apocalypse band, turn it on. And let's see. Oh, yeah. These candles are definitely far from that pink line, and that pink line is sitting roughly around 224. But we've been up here for quite some time. It's been basically slowing down and accelerating, maintaining almost a constant speed. So with this oscillating up and down, will it be able to continue this? There's only so far you can go before the band says these candles must touch or at least come close. So keep watching, keep waiting. We'll see where we end up. I heard that JP Morgan said something about Tesla, and that basically it could definitely go lower. Well, according to these bands on this time frame, that's very, very possible. It has support at about 105, and we see that it held over there around January of 2023, and then had a nice run up. We got some dollar signs right before the curtain call at about 270, and from there it decided to plummet. We do see that it is in a sell trend on top, sideways, and bottoms, and it has been that way roughly since January 2nd of 2024. And on Loop, it's been there literally right the day after Christmas, the 26th of December 2023, and said that basically we're going down. What I don't like to see, or rather shouldn't be seeing, this momentum that's basically in our Loop indicator. So basically it kept falling faster. Well, in order for us to get a buy trend, this this fall has to taper back off or basically maintain its speed, but eventually it has to basically slow down to allow the loop to close. Your guess is as good as mine when it will close, but from where we are, they're still diverging, and this green line is underneath our dash green line, which doesn't happen often. When it does, normally there are large candles to basically fix when that kind of stuff happens. If it goes under, it has to literally pull up really hard to get us back from under there. So there's a possibility that this guy still may sell off some more just to get the green line back above. All right, so let's go take a look at the VIX. The VIX is somewhere in here. Let's go look at our US stocks. And there's the VIX. And it got low, it got real low, but so far it's been able to hold the line. I do see that volatility as of June 2023 had crossed a major point of support and resistance on our apocalypse man on our weekly time frame, which basically means steady as she goes. Anytime we go underneath that pink line for anything that we're playing with, for in this case volatility said, yeah, we're going to take a nap, and basically had you fallen asleep. Once the VIX got under in June 2023, you would have had no complaints, and you still may be riding the ride. Also, likewise, when the COVID-19 happened, it pushed us up and over. Volatility went crazy, gave us a cross, letting us know, hey, this won't last. You better take profit while you can. And sure enough, from almost $80 all the way back down to 13. Hopefully you guys got to ride that ride. and hopefully there'll be some more fireworks in the very near future. Looking at Netflix. Netflix is showing dollar signs. It was up over 600 for just a brief moment, and then it fell back down. So it ended the week with dollar sign up there, letting us know that this is a top for it, at least probability wise. And looking at our 4 hour time frame, let's see if we're out of probability up there as well. We do see that we're high up there in the stratosphere, but let me see if it's completely out of room. I do see that our touched our trend top up there, but let's turn on 3 standard deviations and see if it's actually out of bounds. It is so close. So watch this guy very, very closely. And if you're still in, make sure you at least take some profit, or at least consider taking some profit. I have to say this because, once again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please seek out a duly licensed financial advisor before making any decisions on your portfolio. All right, let's go take a look at AutoZone. AutoZone, like a champion. This guy, he went down and he touched some major numbers around 2487, and just like that, he gained $300 over the course coming into January. So he came into January fighting, and he was fighting mad and basically picking up ground and picking up speed. On this 4 hour time frame, he has a top out value somewhere around 2866. And let's see if he can make it there. We do see that our top sideways and bottoms is sideways currently, as of Tuesday, the 24th of, is that right? Yep, Tuesday, 24th of 2024. And basically, it's just been hovering since Tuesday. The loop on this indicator basically shows us that the green loop is on top, but once again, that red has peeped under. So basically, anytime it goes under, watch out for a short-term reversal. So don't get left holding the bag if you were able to profit from all of this. On the daily time frame, we do see that we do have a little bit of green poking over. So there still may just be a little bit more in here for AutoZone, with heavy support right at about 23,887. So about $400 if it basically did start to fall. $400 lower is where it should find a lot of support. Meanwhile, international paper trying its darndest to get back over that pink line. It's been under that pink line since is that right? 2022. We crossed under February of 2022. It crossed under, and there is a very nice opportunity for it to get back over. The band has made it over. Let's see if the compass can make it over the pink line and then hold that pink line. So we need to hold about 37.32 for a few days, just so that the compass line can have enough time to travel, get above it, and then trigger an actual new buy trend for international paper. Looking at this also, looking at our dash indicator, I noticed that in order for the buy to continue up, it does have to retrace up to 36.79. And because that is true, there's about 80 or 90 cents that it could go sway either way this week. So please be aware and see if it can hold that 36.79, then you may have an opportunity to pick it up at a discount. And if not, then basically continue watching and let's see what we have. It should have support somewhere around 35.13 if it does break under that 36.79. But we'll keep an eye out. And once again, for example, long term for the buy and hold players, typically you will not enter this game until the blue line gets above that pink line. All right. US Steel gapping up. Look at this, guys. We got giant crosses up there letting us know that this is it, guys. This is where we should be taking our leave. Otherwise, things might get ugly for US Steel, the company, at least. Anytime we see those crosses, it's very indicative of what's to happen next. Typically, seeing them at the bottom lets us know that basically we have an all-time bottom, but seeing them at top, there's almost every single time a major retracement anytime you see those crosses. So let's not miss that or miss the fact that we see that today on this seminar and make sure that we are prepared. Also, look at Loop. Loop has already turned red, and it's the first one to let us know that things may not be going as well as we may have hoped. Um, Anytime you see these spikes and then come down, basically probability is trying to hold the line. It poked one more time, got well over 100%. And I think we're at a Fibonacci level of a 1.6183, all the way sitting up there, and basically it's coming right back down. So from where we are, I think X should have some cooling off, which means it can basically stay sideways for a few weeks. If it stays sideways for weeks, that should allow the band to shrink without falling. If it basically can't stay sideways, then there's a good probability that it will have to fall in the near future. So just keep an eye out. All right, let's go take a look at Amazon. Amazon, if we can talk about AutoZone, we can talk about Amazon. Amazon has been able to basically get back in God's good graces somewhere around July of 2023. The blue line broke over the pink, allowing us to basically see where we can basically get in. And so far, if you got in around there, you should have no complaints. You should be about 20% up, but basically everything does eventually end, but not quite yet. There's a little bit of probability left, and the loop is very narrow, but it is still a green loop. So watch it, beware, and don't get left holding the bag. All right. All these red candles on a Friday, never, ever good. Looking at IWM, it is overbought ending out Friday evening. So overbought means it doesn't want to stay up, which means there has to be some correction pulling it back down. With that being said, the loop is already red, so it's actually had 3 or 4 days of nothing but down, but no one's been saying very much about it. Well, we are. So hopefully you see this seminar and are able to act to do things that you need to do, or at least consult with your financial advisor about on IWM. But please be aware, our indicators are saying probability is not a commodity at this point. There's not very much left at all. So make sure that you take what you can and run. Looking at GE is sitting right now at the very beginning of a bearish loop. We're sitting at 155, so that means basically from where it is now, the loop indicator says a new sell trend is beginning. Notice that the red is on top of the blue and the green is underneath the blue, which means a sell trend is actually beginning here, even with all these falling star candles that we see. And a falling star is pretty much a candle that basically it's the lower end of the candle and it has a long tail, but that usually is very indicative that a fall is coming. So we're watching and we're expecting. So let's see how this week plays out. Meanwhile, FedEx also ended Friday on an overbought candle, and we're still in bearish territory, and the loop is still red and it's still sideways. So a lot of things are saying we are not out of the woods yet for FedEx. So the sell trend continues on and is basically making very good progress on our arbitrage, novice, and intermediate band. The support level that it thinks it has right here is about 247.85. Let's see if it can hold that. I'm going to actually go down to the 30-minute time frame to see our odds of that. There's a 99% chance that it should be able to hold 247.80 if we're looking for a place to buy a dip, or at least consider buying a dip using the arbitrage band. Okay, let's get on to the crypto, because the crypto is where we need to be. Right now, it is 2:30 on a Sunday afternoon, And Bitcoin, the ETF, is out. This guy made it all the way up to, if I'm not mistaken, all the way up to this week, all the way up to about 42,948. But the week that they released the ETF, it made it all the way up to 48.49, ran out of probability, and in doing so, forced a correction. So if you sold the news, congratulations, you did the right thing. But from where we are currently sitting, as long as this trend top and trend bottom are above that pink line, and that pink line is sitting at the very base of this chart, there's a good probability that we may see some more up. But please do not ignore the fact that the compass line tried to get over the center mean line of our apocalypse band, but was not able, which means the longest term trend in our system is still rejecting the idea of more bullish things and wants to stay underneath that line. So seeing us underneath there, at least on the 30-minute time frame, there is more down to come. And let's see if that blue line will shape the direction of the rest of the trend, and if we will hold or break under that 49.29. Meanwhile, Ethereum is sitting at another place entirely. Ethereum is basically underneath. Same thing happened when they called for the ETF to be released. The system went crazy saying, take profit, get out. Hopefully some people listened when we're about 26.68. If you didn't, shame on you. But once again, basically, we've watched the system come in, interact with the pink line, break under the pink line, go back up, try to get over it, got overbought, trying to get there too quickly. And now where we're sitting, we're once again almost oversold because we're sitting right at the bottom of this trend bottom. So I'm expecting a lot of sideways motion between the pink line and this green band for the next few days. If it can rest here, basically all the motion that you've seen here should allow this pink line to start to pull its way back up, even with the candle sitting underneath it, which means there should be room for another leg down, but there's going to be some up and volatility that's going to be involved with this just because you're bouncing off of major support and major resistance in a very, very short window of time. Okay, let's go take a look at Doge. It made almost up to 10 cents right about that ETF. And everything said leave, got dollar signs saying it was time to go. Hopefully people left. If you didn't, once again, shame on you. But from where we are, the blue line has made it back under the pink for Doge. So at least going into Sunday night, maybe Monday morning, we are still in a sell trend. We did get oversold about 12 o'clock Central Time. But what's going to happen next? Let's see if it drifts. Let's see if we can get back over that 0.79 or 8 cents. And the number to beat is 8 and 339 1,000ths of a cent. So the range on Doge is so small. So please be careful. It might cost you more to get in and get out than to just, as they say, hold. All right, Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu faced a bottom and was oversold when it got down to 0.0000843, got up to 0.000928, and as of this afternoon at about 12:30, tripped another sell. So once again, we are selling. Let's go up to the 4-hour time frame so that way we basically are not day trading this. We can see what's going on longer term. Looking at Shiba Inu, it is underneath the pink line on our 4-hour time frame. So that means longer term, it just began a new sell trend. So don't get too happy with Shiba Inu just yet. Same thing is happening for Doge. Same thing is happening for Bitcoin. Beginning of a brand new sell trend, not buy trend. So please don't get caught unaware. Same thing for Ethereum. Everybody's sitting at the very top of this band. Let's see if we can find support. But right now, probability and everything is pointing to more red in the near future. So speaking of red, let's switch gears and go and look at some of our forex pairs, because Arbitrage Trade Assist helps you with forex pairs every day. You can either play it or you can let the robot do all of the work for you. So let's first take a look at the dollar, and let's take a look at the dollar on the daily time frame. Looking at the dollar on the daily time frame with the arbitrage band in place, we see that we had a push at the end of our middle of 2 weeks ago that basically pushed and said take profit, but then it stopped. It gave us a couple of dojis. That gave the compass line enough oomph to get above the black line and start a brand new uptrend. Then it slowed down, pulling the trend top and trend bottom also over, which basically made double, even triple support, because you have support from your compass line, support from your RSI line, and support from your trend bottom, letting us know that basically the dollar's in very good shape to continue its march up. Top, sideways, and bottoms, happy. Z Pro, happy. Loop, even happy. So looking at this guy, the green is above the red. If I'm looking at that right, hold on, let me pull it up, just making sure. Do not want to assume right here at all. So looking at this guy, let me turn off the histograms just to simplify my life. And looks like there's a little bit of red, a little bit of a bearish loop that is happening on the daily for DXY. So that means I'm expecting a little bit of a slow move going into Sunday/Monday. But I am overall expecting the dollar to be resilient and continue to march up, since this is the beginning of a buy trend and we are at the bottom of the arbitrage band. Looking at NZD USD, it also is at the very top of the arbitrage band. So inverse correlation between DXY and NZD USD. And now we're trying to see if the trend top and trend bottom can also get above below that orange center line of our arbitrage band. If it can, then we go on to the next band and we continue our progression through the bands, and NZD USD will continue to fall. So far, this has been the forecast, and so far it has played out exactly as expected. So let's see where we go from here. We do see that the red is on top on this one, so nothing to worry about here. NZD USD should be a sell. Looking at AUD USD, the trend top and trend bottom have not gotten completely underneath, but the bottom has gotten underneath the orange. Now we're waiting for the red to get underneath, and then followed by the blue compass line. Blue compass line will basically put the nail in the coffin. Top, sideways, and bottoms is already a sell. Z Pro is already saying, yeah, we're there. So don't miss that. Already in a sell, and this guy is also very red. Meanwhile, Euro USD going into Tuesday said, okay, I agree. We should be selling. So it has started its descent. The trend bottom has made it underneath the center orange line. So let's see where we're going. Trend top, sideways, and bottom is underneath. Z Pro is underneath. But we do see that the loop is saying, hey, no, there's a little bit of green that's coming. So watch out for that little bit of green going into Sunday/Monday, and see where we end up from there. Next up, GBP USD, also in a topping pattern, but with a red candle up there. So we never like to see red candles ending a week, and we never like to see red candles at the very top of a trend on top of support. So where we are now, it is still looking like GBP USD is currently fighting, but this trend is getting weaker and weaker. We've watched these probabilities on the arbitrage band go from very high to lower to moderate. And right now, the bigger bands are still saying GBP USD is still a full-hearted buy, but the smaller time frames are saying probability is slowly dwindling away. So we'll see where we end up after this. All right, looking at JXY. JXY went into a buy and then fell on the rocks quite brutally. So looking at this, JXY went back into a sell trend as of January the 16th. We do still have these candles, which means we are still in the best time to sell window. Now we're trying to see if the trend top and trend bottom can make their way back above the orange, and then if that blue line can make it back above the black. We have a lot of work to do for the JPY pairs to get all these shorts to be green for us instead of red. So let's see what the week looks like for NZD JPY. On this guy, basically, he started to fall, but he got dollar signs because he fell too quickly Tuesday of this past week and said, nope, you went too far too fast, rejected and held that support. And that was very, very good for it. And so that allowed people who were in maybe at 89.55 to get out, or maybe it moved just low enough to pull in some people who had lower positions and swept them up and pulled them into the current. So looking at TSB, this guy is still a buy. NZD JPY is still a buy on this time frame. So let's go take a look at AUD JPY. AUD JPY is looking the same, but is looking a little bit weaker because our loop indicator is saying there's a little bit of red on top. And so for the last 3 to 5 days, it's been trying to keep its head up. But once again, anytime you see those dollar signs, expect some pullback. And let's see if we can actually get some wider candles that will allow us to fall down, or this should be support for AUD JPY, allowing it to march higher. Looking at Euro JPY, as of Monday, the 15th, we basically went back into a buy trend on a daily time frame, which means the Euro JPY that got down to 157 said, I'm not done, pulled all the way up to 161, and from that has basically held the line, roughly trading within about a 60 to 70 cents range for the last 3 to 4 days. It's been mostly down, but when it does go down, then the next leg is a bullish kick. So let's see if it will continue up and continue going from here. Like I said, once again, loop is the only thing that's red. So until anything else says red, we're going with green. It looks like this loop wants to close. So be careful if you're still in Euro JPY. Okay, this is ending this all right here. Let's go take a look. This is GBP JPY. Looks like the bearish loop is trying to close. Both of those guys are sitting right on top of that loop. GBP JPY looks very healthy. Looks like a strong buy. Tuesday, there was a lot of indecision, both oversold and overbought on the same day. Don't see that very often. But where we're going short term, let's go down to first our dash indicator. For the buy trend to succeed, we have to get down to about 170.61. If anyone's sitting near that, you basically are probably counting your blessings, trying to figure out how soon it's going to get there. That's about 1,800 pips in your favor if you're able to catch them. All right, let's go take a look at this on 30-minute time frame just to see if we can see the train about to wreck. So we do see that it was overbought on our 30-minute time frame going into Friday morning about 3:30. I'm going to switch this guy over to our Apocalypse Man. And so far, as Johnny Cash said, he just walks the line. So he's been able to stay above, stay above, stay above. But now we got it ended with it underneath. So now let's see if we will actually get the fall that's coming from this on a 30-minute time frame. Sunday going into Monday, looks like there is going to be a little bit of cloud cover, as basically this does look like a top. So and it's overbought. So let's see where we're going longer term. Thank you guys so much for joining, and we will see you next time. Have a great week.